G'day everyone, you're watching Eagle Review. Round 6 done and dusted. Rochi, what an agonising defeat that was on the weekend. Going down to the undefeated Port Adelaide away from home, yet in total control of the majority of the game.
Yeah, Stumper, very disappointing. Look, we should have been up by about 10 goals at half time, and if you're up by 10 goals at half time, you don't lose. Unfortunately, we left it slightly ajar, and Port played some really good footy in the second half.
Side finds itself 1 and 4, a bit of an easier schedule compared to what we've had in the next month. Senior coach John Worsfold believes still plenty of footy ahead, and the future is reasonably bright.
The doomsayers say, well, that's it, the season's done and dusted, you might as well wipe it. Our view is there's a lot of footy to play and we're pretty excited about what we can still achieve.
Gee, some pretty handy news during the week. Skipper Darren Glass been given the all clear, had his case successfully reversed at the tribunal for his rough conduct charge against Paul Stewart. Geez, he smacked him hard, Roshi.
Yeah, he got him a good one. Look, it was a big risk challenging, but we got away with it. Done very well.
Obviously, we get it back to the wall, so it's really nice to be able to get out there and play. I was confident I hadn't hit him high, and they saw it the same way.
Fife got 2 weeks. Instead of 1 because he challenged unsuccessfully earlier on. So we're pretty nervous.
Absolutely.
And I'd like to say thank you to the umpire. Actually said we did get him head high. Well, we didn't.
Yeah, unlucky. It was very handy having him back. Him and Beau Waters were just absolute brick walls on the weekend, especially for the first half. All of Port Adelaide's attacking just seemed to end up in their hands. Senior coach John Worsfold asked, how big a risk it was, seeing as though he was facing the 3 weeks if found guilty.
The extra penalty is a massive deterrent about. You really have to be confident and clear about what you're challenging because the penalty is pretty great. An extra week, an extra basically 50% increase in Glassey's penalty if you fail.
Geez, Rochi, I haven't seen this much excitement for a player returning since Ben Cousins 2007. Don't expect 38 touches from him, but Nick Natanui created quite an uproar in the media, listed as a test on Monday, and he's been named to play. It's first time this year, obviously, since his off-season groin surgery.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Look, mate, I'll take 38 minutes out of the big dog at this stage. There's no game this week for him, his Waffle side. Swans have a bye, so I'll be there having a couple of beers watching the game while Nick will be out there doing his best work. So it's great to see him back.
Absolutely it will be, along with Matty Rosen and Shad Wellingham also got the call up. Little on that a bit later. Look, it was a real disastrous start from the opening bounce, obviously, against Port Adelaide. Just 3 minutes in, our superstar on-baller and clearance king, Matt Priddis, knocked out cold. Arm-pitting tackle yet again, Rochi. He was subbed off immediately. Jamie Cripps on for a full game, and being a one midfielder down in the rotation certainly hurt.
Yeah, it does hurt, especially losing Priddis, because Priddis is going as fast as he is at the start of the game as he is at the end of the game, so he's a real tough one to lose. And you just saw the impact that their sub had. Robbie Gray comes on halfway through the third quarter, gets a lot of the footy, whereas we had Jamie Cripps who was on the whole game, so it was just like having another player out there. So it was a tough day for us.
We talked to physio Paul Tucker, and he explains exactly what has to be passed for these players to get up the next week after a concussion.
We give them 1 to 2 days of very light activity and make sure that their symptoms are settling. Once they've got through that stage, next thing is we allow them some light exercise. Again, monitoring their symptoms, making sure that they don't complain of headaches, nausea or any vagueness, which is often sometimes difficult with some of our players to see if that's abnormal. They get through that step and we allow them then to start training with the group, avoiding contact initially and then straight into contact training. Final test is to pass off on something called a COG state, which is a computerised concussion test. The players have done a baseline prior to the season. They then have to beat that baseline or at least match it. And finally, speak to the doctors, and the doctors have the final sign-off on whether the player's going to play that week or not.
New little game here, Rochi. It's called By the Numbers. Let me throw one at you. 28. That's what Chris Marston is averaging disposal-wise this year. He's taken a big step up in the role. More midfield time, less time in the forward 50, and grasping this opportunity with both hands.
Absolutely he is. Look, he didn't use it too well on the weekend, and he actually tweeted how badly he did use it on the weekend. But, mate, averaging 7 more touches than what he was last year, so he's going very well. Try the number 10 out for size, Thumper. All right, this is the amount of tackles that Scotty Selwood had on the weekend. Now, he's leading the tackle count this year in the AFL. He won that in 2011, so he's back to his best.
Number 7, Rochi, the number of rebound 50s that Shannon Hearn had on the weekend. This is from a bloke who's got a tag, so he's got a bloke sitting on his shoelace. excellent work, but he's still using the ball very, very well,
Yep.
very efficiently, especially from his point kickouts this year as well.
That's why he's getting tagged, because he does use it so well. How about the number 1? This is the amount of times that Ashton Hams has dropped his knees in a tackle and actually not received a free kick in his entire career.
Brilliant work there, Rochi. I don't know if you saw this contest on the weekend. Dean Cox in the centre bounce down. Geez, he's got unbelievably, the amount of respect he commands out on the field, even with the umpires, is unbelievable. Take a look at this.
Umpire's found a free. Now, Cox complained to the umpire there. The umpire you'll play on. Cox complained, then he paid a free. Backtracks. No one gets near it. Cox looks at the umpire. Umpire waves play on. Cox looks at the umpire. Umpire blows free.
Magic moment time. Very difficult to go past the kick out from Port Adelaide here. Youngster Callum Sinclair goes back with the flight. Ends up hurting himself quite badly, but West Coast end up locking the ball inside forward 50, and Marston, the recipient, with a good left foot goal. Oh, that's a good moment, Rochi. I like it.
Not bad, mate, but have a look at this one. This is an absolute ripper. Hilly got the footy, dropped it, then tried to knock it back to Glassy. Well, missed Glassy. Then Schultz picked it up. Schultz thought it was a free kick, and he snapped it over his shoulder for a point. It's one of the biggest stuff-ups I've ever seen.
Schultz had no idea. Very, very severe brain melt there from
Yes,
Schultz.
very much so.
Unlucky. 2:40, that's the game time. Sunday afternoon, bounce down. Let's have a look at these teams in. We've got Nicholas Natanui. Don't know if you've heard of him, but he's having his first hit out. Welcome back to Matty Rosa, Shara Wellingham, after each having an East Perth hit out during last weekend. Will Schofield and Ash Smith named on an extended interchange, and outs are Butler and Cripps. It's just a must-win game, Rochi. There's no two ways about it. The goal king, your big issue, need to get that right.
That's right, mate. Last 2 weeks, I think we've kicked 17 goals, 42, and a few out of bounds in the full. Not going to win too many games doing that.
Good to see Kobe Stevens getting a run for the boys as well. Good kid, good lad.
Yeah.
Good to see him getting a go.
I hope he doesn't play well this week, mate.
Absolutely. Western Bulldogs got a fair lineup. Luke Shuey, midfielder, understands just how many weapons they have and how they need to be shut down.
I think they've got a really talented midfield. Did Matty Boyd get reported from hitting Joel on the weekend? If he plays, they've got him, Liberatore, some really good inside midfielders, and obviously Cooney's back to his best, it looks like. Griffin, Dalehouse is really dangerous. They got some really good leg speed, and if our defensive pressure's not up, they'll be able to carve us up. So we've, like I said, just bring our intensity and defensive pressure, and hopefully we can counter that.
It's match winner time. You bet senior coach John Worsfold is watching this and saying, right, who are the boys picking? Who do I need to give a rocket to this week? Jack Darling, I'm picking this bloke to have an absolute ripper. He's only had 2 goals in the last 2 games. He's kicked a little bit inaccurately, and he'll be a bit disappointed with his latest output. He'll probably get Tom Young with Jordan Roughhead and Morris going to JK. I think he's just going to be too quick and have too much run throughout the day. Have a look at him. He'll have a big one.
Mate, my match winner. Now, I told you I was going to pick him no matter what.
Nick Nat.
Yeah, Nick Nat.
What if he's sub, mate?
Doesn't matter. Subs win games.
Subs win games.
That's right. He'll be the match winner. Don't you worry about that. He'll do something. It'll get us up and win the game for the lads.
Don't forget, this Sunday is Cans for a Cause. So if you can, you come into the game, make sure to bring some canned food down. It's got to be in a can, no glass or anything like that.
Yep.
They're going to have past players on each gate. So go and say g'day and give back to a worthwhile cause.
So when you come to the footy, get your cans out.
Absolutely. Just before we go, senior coach John Worsfold had an interesting message. They said, what do you say to fans out there who have given up hope and thrown in the towel for season 2013? Enjoy.
Go on holidays, come back in September and things might be better. Yeah, enjoy the ride that's ahead. Yeah, we've copped it, and we'll cop the criticism and we'll cop the advice, and we haven't lived up to expectations to this point, but we're really looking forward to the challenge of stepping up to all that as the season unfolds.